Hello everybody, welcome. I'm back after probably just over a month or so. But if you listened to my last video or two, you know that there's been quite a few things that have happened in my life that I didn't expect, and it takes a while to recover from such things. It does. I did get out for my birthday to this event right there on Denman Island, Blackberry Jam number 2, as a security guard and a host, and I got to party with my old friends, and after that weekend I left the party scene behind. I don't intend to go back for a few years, or at least until some of my favorite friends and musicians come around, and just to see them play. You know, I had a birthday weekend, and that's good. You know, it just happened that I was around hundreds of people that I actually knew, and it was quite something. But to give you an update on what's going on with me, here it goes. You know, my love that I told you packed up and left around August 3rd has now been gone for a month and a week or so, and we don't think that, well, she doesn't think that it's a good idea to come back, and as she phrased it, is that we're in different moments in time in our lives, but our paths crossed, and that was all. You know, so she feels like she needs to do other things than I do, and she doesn't want to do the together thing anymore. Another quote I heard recently that relates to that is, some people you meet for a reason, for a season, or for a lifetime. I guess, you know, the arguing has stopped. Both her and I have become very peaceful within, and that is a, you know, free setting, kind of a happy feeling. You feel a lot lighter and less stressed, and there is no tension in the head and nothing like that, no headaches. But you know, what I believe in is, after you give each other space and learn these things, you should get back together and cross over to the next stage in our lives, you know, become wiser, learn from our mistakes, and show each other that we can do this, you know, and it would be wise to get back together and continue on through this, and then later on look at this and, you know, kind of laugh at it, but also remember what kind of lessons we've learned. And, you know, I've learned a lot. What I have learned over the last month and a bit, for example, is that my addictions and my problems I've got myself into in my life are really my problems, and they're really for me to solve and to discover, and up for me to battle and to conquer, you know. You know, sometimes we get these mistakes, we make mistakes thinking, for example, that you know, by arguing with your loved one, you get triggered to go do drugs. But actually, I believe it's kind of a weakness, you know. because addicts always look to be victims in a way, and it's easy to blame it on a situation in life or someone you're arguing with or someone who's making you upset. But that's not it, you know. I think that's part of growing up, actually. Manning up to what you're dealing with. Don't blame anybody, don't manipulate anyone. I learned that you need to give people space when they ask for it, you know. I learned that it's useless to raise your voice, to be loud, mean, and use curse words. Um, it's no longer necessary to act that way living in nature. I'm not in the city. Um, I learned how valuable people's ideas and projects and dreams are to people individually, and no matter what they are, and no matter whether they include you or not, or whether your loved one will have to go away to live out those dreams without you but come back, doesn't matter. You have to let it be. It's part of loving. um, I just wish I had the chance to share this wisdom further with Laura and continue on, as I know she has gained a lot of wisdom too through being at these meditation retreats. I remember being into meditation a lot in my 20s, and uh, I have a lot of respect for people who do that and who have discipline to meditate and who take meditation as a healing tool, because it's an incredible one. Actually, meditation is a super good, healing method for anxiety, for cravings. Just sit down and meditate or do some push-ups, and it will only take minutes before cravings and bad thoughts go away and you start to feel better. You actually will start feeling better. All it takes is that little discipline to sit down and meditate, or go see your friend acupuncturist. um, but now over the last couple years, I've decided to taper off the meds I'm on, and for a year and a half or so, I have been doing it. So now I've gone to 45 milligrams of methadone, and I was at 95 originally, and 1.5 milligrams of clonazepam, and I was at 4 milligrams originally. Quit smoking about 3-4 months ago, and I've been sober, I don't know, almost 10 years now. Except my birthday weekend, I had a couple drinks with old friends, and that was fine. Main thing is I don't have any desire to drink, and I feel sorry for those people who went on after that festival and drank every day and are still drinking every day. I remember being that way. It's quite hard. I don't know how people still do it. So I've been doing well. um, I have regained my both picture IDs that I needed to have here for BC, and I have managed to regain my Canadian citizenship certificate, and I have just got my brand new passport that's good for the next 10 years. And also my legal divorce proceedings are about 3/4 done now, and that's a great thing. My teeth are going to be worked on again. I just saw someone who does dentures, partial dentures, which I need for my upper teeth, and they had a look at it, and they will call me back and with the numbers, how much it will all cost, and we're going to do it. Um, so yes, I'm alone because of my actions, because of my behavior. because of our behavior, I would have to say. We were both immature, not wise. Like, we wanted to be a wise couple, but we ended up fighting and arguing and separating. You know, still, for me, it didn't have to be over. It didn't have to mean that at all. I would be willing to go on and keep on fighting. Now raised is a question. She was my drug, kind of like my heroin. When I was with her, not only because of sexual pleasures, but also because she was there and I could always hug her or cuddle with her or spend time with her. I lost complete desire to do drugs, and I just didn't feel like it at all. And except my cannabis, which is my, it's my anti-anxiety and anti-insomnia medication, which still works, still helps me sleep, still helps me be mellow like I am right now. Um, but yeah, you know, um, it really didn't have to end this way. I would like to continue and grow from this moment on. But it is what it is. Now, because she was my drug and she's gone, I started having these stupid cravings, and this is me being honest. To do drugs perhaps, and started thinking about different drugs and different ways of ingesting them, and I still don't feel like it. I'm still sitting on the island put, and if I felt like it at all, I remember being a drug addict, I would have been in the city a long time ago. But here I am sitting at home every day and doing things around the house because it's harvest time. Um, and it's time. See, it's time. Apples are ready and stuff. Um, it's time to get ready for winter, to stack up wood, to get the chimney cleaned. Clean the house a bit. Um, but also now I have to decide, what's the safe thing for me to do? Do I go up on the meds a bit so that I stay safe and I don't have cravings and I stay alive like people on methadone do, because it is a very good way of harm reduction. It keeps people alive. Should I go up on my medication a bit just to stay in the safe zone, which was a bit higher? Or do I stop where I am right now, like I have, because the doctors thought I would be stressed out and it's not a good idea? Or should I start keep climbing down? My heart tells me to keep climbing down. My warrior spirit tells me to keep climbing down. My reasoning tells me to maybe wait for a bit, see what happens in the next few weeks, and also I'll be talking to my doctors very soon. Either way, I don't want to go back up. I'm not gonna start smoking again. I'm not going to be using a drug addict or anything like that ever again in my life, actually. Actually, I'm thinking how to build a garden and get a couple chicken, a couple hens, and maybe a rooster. Maybe not a rooster because they're loud. I'll protect the hens and become more self-sufficient, work more on that. My videos for the last 2 years have not only been about mental health and addictions, but also about the depression, and also it was, I've raised a lot of radical issues about how important recycling is, which I do like crazy. composting and collecting rainwater, and getting your own wood burning in the stove, just like growing your own food, growing your own smoke. Doing it all yourself is the way to do it eventually. you know that's a goal I'm slowly driving to. I want to get back into playing music, um, and back into volunteering at these harm reduction groups, and maybe speaking a bit more. Um, I would love to end up on stages like TED Talks or any auditoriums at schools to talk to kids, because I believe in harm prevention. Harm reduction is great, but harm prevention is greater. You know, prevent it instead of picking up the pieces later in harm reduction. Prevent it. We could prevent a lot. So, as you see, I'm doing okay. I'm not as sad anymore. I understand a lot more, and still, I wish things would end differently. But they are what they are. I don't have much influence on how they will end up. All I can do is be a good man and always try to be a better man. And that's what I'm striving to. That's the main thing I'm doing, is every day trying to become a better person and a better man. And while I say that, I will return to do some stuff around the house here in the garden and in the wood piling to help my dear friends and neighbors, who are quite a bit older than me and are very, very kind people, and they deserve nothing but kindness. And that's part of life on the island community. I love it. I love this community. Whew. I feel safe here. I just wish people I love were here too. Never give up.